Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Never felt more like singing the blues. City win, United to lose. Oh, City, you got me singing the blues. 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4. Come on! Manchester City have just won the FA fucking Cup, the new official title over those bitter fucking bread bastards, and I absolutely love it. Welcome back to the Fan View Live. Sorry, I just took a bit of time just to go and sit down with the family downstairs. I've got a drink here. I'm so excited. Pep did have tears in his eyes, Cobby, indeed. So this is the Fan View Live. If you don't know what it is, you can chat to me and have a good old chat. But it's one of those things where... sorry, I'm just reading a text from a mate, Dave. Basically, it's a bit of an exclusive here. I'm trying to organise, and let me know in the chat if you think this is a good idea. I'm trying to organise a venue next week where we can watch the final together in Manchester. I'll get a desk in the corner somewhere, do my usual YouTube stuff and chat to you guys. Usual YouTube stuff, but at the same time, everyone will be watching on the shared big screen. If that's the kind of thing, if you're in Manchester, you would actually come along to, do let me know and DM me or whatever. I want to do it because I watched this game at home today, and I was on my own essentially, and I want to watch it with some City fans, and I can just put my computer in the corner and do my usual stuff and just chat away and just chat to fans, and it'll be class. So if you'd be up for that, a small probably FIFA entry for legal reasons or something like that, I don't know, a couple of quid for the venue, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. If you'd be up for that, do let me know. So I want to try and sit with 50 to 60 City fans next week in the final, organise an event. Imagine how much fun that would be together. So let me know if you'd be interested in that kind of thing. But either way, this is the Fan View Live. Of course, we've just beat United. It's just mad. It's just mad to think that this could be a treble. Could be a treble. We could be over a treble, but we've just fucking done the double. We've done the double over United. Over United, we've just beat them. How is everyone feeling? Do let me know in the chat. If you want to have a chat to me, guys, don't forget. Let me just put a link in the chat. This is for members. I put a link for members. I pinned it right now. So basically, the way the Fan View Live is, obviously I could open it up to anyone, but it'd be chaos. But anyone who supported the channel, anyone who's a member or patron or whatever, you know the usual link to go. You can find it on the Patreon post. You can find it in the pinned comment there if you remember. You can come and click and join and have a chat with me, guys. And we'll chat to as many of you as I can tonight. It's going to be a real good fun. I want to say thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry, my head's in a billion different places at once, but I'm just buzzing. I've had like 5 rum and cokes. I actually kept my son up accidentally, man. He was trying to go to bed, not bed, for a nap, and I kept him awake. I feel so bad. Sorry, Ruben. But Ruben will appreciate it one day. I'll tell him when he's about 5 years old, I kept you awake because I was screaming because City beat United. And he'll go, it's all right, Dad. I understand it because you have to do it because fuck United. And do you know what? I don't want my kid to swear, but if he says fuck United at 5 years old, I'll be like, fist bump. I'll absolutely appreciate it because it'll be fine, you know? It'll be fine. So soon I will be getting to some of you guys, but I want to talk about the game a tiny bit soon. I know Guy and Kevel are already waiting in the green room, so to speak, legends. But I will be getting to those guys in a minute. But I want to just talk about what this means once again. Like, you know, everyone's talking about Fergie and his face of thunder. He absolutely was devastated. Not in my lifetime. And now it's every single fucking time. Your treble is going to be... It's going to be outwitted by a Manchester City side, hopefully, who, in my opinion, are even better. This wasn't a good game of football. It was an ugly, horrible, aggressive game of football with contentious decisions galore. In fact, the fact that we fucking did that, despite the state of those referees, to me, says everything. Those referees were abysmal. I'm sorry. United fans can moan like, oh, you know what? Wan-Bissaka got a dodgy yellow card, or Bernardo should have got booked too. Come on. You can't moan about those like... Fucking, it's like moaning about someone punching you when the other person got stabbed and shot. You know what I mean? It's that level of discrepancy. Like, you got a punch in the face, mate. I got shot 4 times. It's just stupid. Like, the comparisons are ridiculous. Like, a red card for Casemiro ignored. a stupidly harsh penalty on Jack Grealish. An ignored penalty for Kevin De Bruyne. Just shocking decision after shocking decision. But still, we found a way to win it. Still, Ilkay Gundogan found a way to be beautiful and wonderful as always. I love that man. I love Ilkay Gundogan. He is just on another level. Absolutely wonderful. What a guy. What a guy. Just special stuff from a special footballer. Every single fucking time, man. Gundogan, I love you, mate. I love you. I absolutely love you. Guys, do hit the like button. Do hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel, of course. I'm going to bring over Guy in a second and get him on the video. Guy, I'm going to add you to the stream, Guy, but I will also be editing you as usual because I'm not lined it up yet, so ignore me when I bring you in. Let me just do some editing to make sure he's actually in the actual video. He's not in the video. Give me 2 seconds. But this, honestly, what a time to be alive as City fans right now. Just stupid. Generally just stupid. I think you should be in the video now, Guy. Let me jump over to... Guy, can you say something to make sure I can hear you, mate? I can hear you. Minute. All right, I'm going to jump over to Guy now on the stream to have a chat. 1 second. Here we go. Guy, you are on the video. How are you feeling, my friend?
Relieved. I really thought they were gonna take this away from us.
Fuck me. So the same, mate. Same. Absolutely the same.
I really thought, nah, they're gonna do the same shit. They've already stolen 3 points from us over one of the worst decisions. I'm still salty about it. But this one, it was just the Casemiro thing, then the penalty, then not giving a penalty on De Bruyne, then every single decision. How can you allow a Man United fan, someone who has a Man United profile picture
was
on
that
their
real
Facebook
though,
page,
man? I don't know if it was. I'm not sure if that was Twitter doing his Twitter thing, but it did felt. To be honest, if it was real or not, it fucking felt real, didn't it? You know what I mean? Like.
How do you allow him to be VAR? It's insane. I can't wrap my brain around it. But once we got that second goal, it was like, yeah, they're not taking. Like, this team has, this man dragged us from the abyss last season versus Aston Villa out of nowhere. And today, with all the respect to all the players that played, I think the defense was magnificent.
Yeah,
I don't think our attack clicked very well, but I will give United some semblance of credit for sort of nullifying our attack. But this man dragged us, even today, dragged us from the abyss with two just, like, I think the combined XG of both of his goals was like now 0, like it's just nothing. 0.05 or something crazy like that. And
mad.
It's just crazy. They gave them a penalty, they gave them everything. They could not take this away from us. And I don't think we're losing to Inter. We're getting the treble. I mean, after that, you just have to believe, right?
You have to, mate. You have to. This game. I said on my previews and all that, Guy, in my videos, whatever. I said, like, I feel like it'll either be beautiful or ugly. You know, I don't think there's going to be in between where I feel like it's going to be a horrible game of football or just comfortable. And we got the horrible game of football, didn't we? We got it's horrible. Like, it was just like football wasn't good from either team. It was all about refs. It was all about just fouls and ref calls, and a couple of moments of brilliance, admittedly. But we got that. I wasn't really worried about I'm not worried about in the Champions League final being that way. Do you feel the same? I don't know why. I feel like it'll be more relaxed. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think. Well, let me put it this way. I don't think Inter. Again, I don't want to give credit to Man United. They're cheats. Fuck them. But they did play reasonably well today, and I don't think Inter are capable of playing that against us. I don't think they're capable of pressing us as much as United did today. I think that the setting will be different. It'll be later in the evening. You know, I'm not in Manchester, but I've been told that. Sorry, not Manchester, London. But I've been told that the weather was really hot today.
Yeah, 25 degrees.
Like
really nice day.
It's crazy. I from what I've heard, the weather is gonna be very nice during the Champions League final. So I'm hoping it's not gonna be too much of a drag. on our players.
Probably a
I just
decent
want to.
preparation actually today for what it's worth, by the way, because it was actually warm in London for once. It was really warm, so probably convenient, a little bit of preparation. But obviously it would be hotter in Istanbul, but not the worst thing. But anyway, you're gonna say not.
Yeah, but it's like it's coastal. It's there's more of a breeze.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
later in the evening, like I said. I think it's a much nicer setting to play football. But I've done the thing today where I look through streams to find like which stream is the best one, and I started watching one of the streams, and the game just kicked off, and I moved to another stream, and then I see Gundogan celebrating, and I'm like, are they showing us like a
Yeah,
replay?
highlights or something. Yeah,
Yeah, highlights for like a few seconds
I saw
ago,
that
like,
goal.
what's
That was
going
the
on?
Everton game or whatever. Yeah. No, I literally.
Crazy.
I'm not sure if you saw the start of my watch along, but like Nicola just got home with Ruben. And she came up to say hello, and obviously, as soon as he said hello, yeah, he scored, and I screamed so much he started crying. I felt so bad. Like, oh, man.
No.
I terrified him because I punched the sofa. But like, to be fair, it was fucking mental, wasn't it? Like that goal out of nowhere. 12 seconds, I think it went down. That was 12 seconds. Jesus Christ, mate. Ilkay Gundogan.
I mean, that's something that like usually happens against City. It's like the moments.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah.
The moments. The Vinicius Junior.
We've got the
first
moments
attack
on our
kind of
side,
thing.
guy. We've got the moments
The
on our side.
moments are here. The pretty football is there, obviously, but when it's not there, we have the moments, and that's why I'm very confident for that. Like we deserve it so much. I listened to the 9320 podcast with Asen, and I could not agree more when he said like this team deserves not just the treble, just deserves to be immortalized as the one of the best teams, if not the best team of all time, that it clearly is, and deserves so much more credit than it gets.
You just reminded me to message Asan, by the way. I'm just messaging him on WhatsApp right now because I need to chat to him. Like, I need to. I just put, mate, I need to talk to you. Like, need to. I just need to.
He's a superstar.
I fucking need to chat to Asan. I just need to. Yeah, but you're right about the credit he doesn't get. But like Asan, I need to chat to him. I just need to. Like, I need his view on this in my world right now. You know, in general, and that'll happen this week. I promise you. But you're absolutely right, man. You're right about that. The credit, this City side, I think in time it will do. I think in generally, like people, all this stuff right now about the charges and all, it's very relevant. It's very news friendly, but ultimately people don't really care about admin. 30 years from now, they won't care as much. And I think eventually people will look about this City side and they'll just see the trophies and they'll see the football that we play. And I think there'll be too many City fans at that point to even care. The way that the media panders to United and Liverpool, and whatever. I think the way City are going, whether any of us like it or not, and like obviously I can see the people in the chat right now, and I mean this with the greatest of love. I know there's people from all corners of the world in that chat waiting to chat. Like the way City are going, the growth of this club, the strength of this club's presence is going to be undeniable. And I think ultimately, they'll just bow down to how good City are because they are and they deserve it. So I'm not worried about it eventually, guy. Like long term, it'll be there. We'll be there, man. What? Go on. Sorry, I'm just waffling, mate. I'm just go for it. Go on.
So I want to give credit to who I think actually was my man of the match, and it's not Gundogan.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
No, I agree.
It's fucking Rodrigo Hernandez.
He's not bad, is he?
I thought he was I thought he was basically the reason we won today. The amount of recoveries, the bossing of midfield, he was just. I genuinely think he's not just the best defensive midfielder in the world. He's the best defensive midfielder by a huge margin.
Oh, yeah.
No one even comes close to him.
Absolutely.
And I'm willing to say, maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm willing to say that I think he's one of the best of his position of all time. Like I don't think like he's comparable to like a Busquets in my opinion in like pedigree. And I know he will justify this take in 10 years. I guarantee that.
I don't think that's crazy, man. I think that we are going to look back and say, I love Fernandinho, but what Rodri's going to accomplish in Manchester City
Fernandinho
side,
peaked a little too late to really get the accolades.
I think Rodri's going to. I think he's going to stay here forever. I think this is his club. Presuming City don't massively drop off post Pep, which I don't think we will do. I think he'll stay. I think he's the kind of guy that will just do 10 years here because I think he's comfortable. I think he's smart. He understands that no club is well run and as well respected as Manchester City in terms of how they treat the players and so on. I think he'll stay, and I think he'll be our captain. Like, apparently, he's one of the captains, isn't he, these days? Like, I don't know what I'm referencing here, but I saw something really recently where someone wrote something. Someone said something about Rodri, being the guy who stepped up recently. I don't know what I'm referencing, but someone in the chat will know what I'm on about. But I've read something recently that suggested that Rodri's become a real bit of a leader, in the dressing room. Um, so I think he's going to stay for a long time, guy. I think you're
Yeah,
right, man.
maybe on the Athletic. I'm going to also make a prediction that's kind of a bit wild. I don't think Pep Guardiola is leaving Manchester City after 10 years.
Oh, I love it, mate. Go
I'm
on,
crazy, but
elaborate.
I don't think he's leaving. I think he will renew again. Because the last time he renewed, it didn't seem like he was going to, right? It seemed like, oh, he's going to do 7 years, whatever. And then he renewed again for 3 years. Because he just felt, I don't know, there was something that wasn't there 2, 3 years ago. Some affinity, some
I know what you
connection.
mean. I know what you mean, mate. Yeah.
It just feels like he gets the. I remember a few seasons ago, I read a few people saying like, Guardiola is definitely our most successful manager, our most beloved
No, it's
manager,
not even close.
but
Yeah.
he, but I read that like 2 seasons ago, people said he didn't have the same connection to the club. It didn't have the same understanding of the
Yeah. I
club,
agree.
the fans as Mancini. And people said that because like he had like that fight with one of the supporter groups about attendances. You remember that one?
Well, I've got a quote here for you, guy. Pep Guardiola. Now I will love this club for the rest of my life. I was not born a Man City fan, but now I can understand. I think that's it. Like, there is no way
It's
that this is. I think, to be honest, and you know what's crazy, guy. I think by the time he leaves Manchester City, Pep Guardiola will be known just as much for Man City as he is for Barcelona. I think that's crazy. Like,
absolutely,
I don't think he'll ever not be known as Barcelona because Messi and Barcelona what they did.
yeah.
But I think his legacy at Barcelona will be seen as the same way as it is for at Man City. I think it'll be as level, which I think is crazy, isn't
I
it?
mean, I think he views the Manchester City dynamic versus the establishment, the Premier League, Man United, the coming from behind, the underdog story, as sort of similar to what he views as the Catalonia versus like the Real Madrid and all that.
Yeah,
And I think that's a major thing into his affinity for the club. I think he likes the city generally, which is crazy.
yeah, yeah. Because I love
I
Manchester,
genuinely think he likes the city.
but it does surprise you, someone
He
from
invested
Barcelona.
in a lot of yeah. He invested in a lot of property there. He
Yeah,
has the restaurant, which I found out recently. Soriano's wife is a co-owner. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I did not know that at all, man.
That's
Um,
crazy.
Guy, I've realised I've been chatting to you for ages, and so many people are waiting. So, but Guy, I love you loads, man. I'm gonna have to shoot though because I want to
Love
get
you,
to the
man.
other guys. But
All right.
catch you in a bit. See you later. Absolute legend. In a bit, Bell.
Yeah. Bye.
What a bloke. I just totally forgot. I'm so sorry to Nazh, Kevel, Tenzin, Scott waiting around. Let me get to a few super chats first because they are some legends have been chatting away. Where we've got Mark saying never felt more like singing the blues. City win, United lose, oh City. We're singing the blues. 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4. Absolutely lovely stuff. Mark, you fucking legend. Scott as well. He's in the chat. He's just there. I'm gonna just the cat. I can see the cat as well. Scott's got his cat with him. It says just got home from the brewery, but blue moon, you saw me standing alone without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. I said blue moon. Legend Scott. I'll catch you very shortly, Scott. And also, Farsin Mohammed says, let's go indeed. Let's go indeed, mate. Let's go in fucking indeed. Scott, you're a fucking beautiful man. I can't wait to chat to you in a few minutes' time. I'm going to get over to Kevel now, who's been waiting wonderfully. I will go through some of the quotes as well soon from Guardiola and co. Kevel, I'm going to add you, but then I'll come to you in a second. 1 second. 3, 2, 1. I've done that wrong. Oops, I'm on the wrong screen here. There we go. Kevel, you are live, mate. How you doing? You good?
Hi, Stephen. Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great,
Buzzing,
mate.
right?
Yeah,
Buzzing.
yeah. I am half cut. I'm merry, I'm tired at the same time. How are you
Well,
feeling?
great. What a great day, just doing the double over United. Like it's special. It's like there's no words for it. Like Pep. We saw Pep got emotional. We saw the players were emotional. They were happy. They're like they're like good solid group of mates now. It's not like I think it's more than just professional footballers playing together, good
Yeah,
quality.
I agree.
Everyone is happy. They enjoy going out with each other. We saw after the Premier League, they spend time like the Coldplay concert in Manchester. Everyone was, went together, all the players with their family. So everyone is just it's kind of like a family, the whole club.
And that makes a
And
difference, doesn't it, Kevin? It really
yeah,
does, because like City have got a sort of like no dickheads kind of rule, in general, like just don't
mhm,
sign dickheads. And obviously we're not perfect. Occasionally one or two will slip through the cracks, but largely it's a squad full of players who all just fucking love each other, and
yeah,
like all of them. And I actually know this is true as well. Like I know people who work at City, and the unity in that dressing room is just remarkable. And I think it also there's a good part of it is the fact that the squad. I know we get frustrated by the squad not being the biggest because it isn't the biggest,
right.
but I think the fact that it's a little bit smaller means everyone gets a decent amount of football. There's not 25 players getting frustrated, senior players. Like I think it's too much, and I think right now they're just all best mates and they're all loving life, and that matters, doesn't it, Kevin?
Exactly. Yeah. It just gives us the emotional, support from the fans, the connection with their each other, I guess, on the pitch and off the pitch as well. So it's just a special day. We saw Gundogan scoring two amazing goals. Out 30-yard volleys, half volleys against United, against De Gea, who's fallen off, but back in the day he was still one of the best shot stoppers. He made brilliant saves, and he couldn't do anything about the first goal.
Yeah, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Like De Gea, yeah, he had no chance. I mean, what did you make of
No,
Gundogan's performance? Because what is it about
amazing.
Gundogan that makes him do this? Because I, he's so unassuming as a footballer, but
Mhm.
he has this. It's too many times now to be coincidence, isn't it? He
It's,
has
it's it's
this.
the mentality, as Pep said. Everyone we know they have the skills. Like these are like top elite footballers, and they play under Pep and in the best club in the world. So they already have the skills. It's just like being calm. The pressure is on. I mean, I was personally feeling it after halftime when United score, and they were kind of looking like
Yeah, yeah.
they're just gonna steal it like always, and then it's just calm. The players are calm. Kevin De Bruyne is calm. He's like, all right, I'm gonna beat Fred, win the free kick, and then I did this. I practiced this in training. I'm gonna pass right to Gundogan, and Gundo with his like magical feet.
I
It's
love him,
just
mate.
like
I love him.
right in the corner.
Do you think he stays, Kevel? Because
I
you see, you got Ruben Diaz saying, "I fucking love Gundogan." You've got Kevin De Bruyne saying, "I hope he stays." Sign the contract. You've got Guardiola saying, "I hope he stays," and people spotted Carl Doon chatting away to him and stuff. I, I don't think it's decided yet, but I think the more
I
it goes
don't
on,
think
I think he's starting to feel
either.
gone.
Um, I see as like the Champions League is like a big deal. If we win it, then it's like 50-50. It's like company,
Yeah,
and he left on a high. I thought he was gonna stay company, but we saw after that Leicester goal that he made
yeah.
his decision.
I think
Then
he made the right call, didn't he, Vinny, as well, looking back? 4 trophies that year, and
yeah, yeah,
like it's one of those things where
yeah.
he wanted to win the Champions
I
League,
mean,
but
I personally wanted him to stay longer, but then we got Ruben Diaz, so yeah,
it's not
one
bad, is it? We are so lucky, mate, aren't we? Like, what a life we live as City fans. Like
I mean, we don't score the
vi-
first goal without Haaland.
from.
Him winning the header against Casemiro or whoever was the.
I thought he played well, Haaland. Like
Yeah, he did.
I did.
Except that
I know he
one
didn't get the
chance
goal,
at
but
the
I thought
yeah
he.
offside. Yeah,
I thought he worked really hard. Like I thought in general link up play. I thought he was a bit of. It wasn't a good game from anyone really. In terms of like technical, but he did alright, didn't he?
yeah. I mean, he did really good. Link up play was good, except that one chance where Gundo scored offside goal.
Yeah.
I think he should have put it in, but it happens. But I think it's just the final, like the other team is also good players. They also want to win. They'll like fight for their lives. And this is how finals usually are. I
Yeah.
mean, I know we are better. We've got more quality than United, and we but it's still like it's humans. Like we're not playing with robots. So
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
passion, the emotions, they sometimes take over, and then the dodgy decisions by referees. It's like, what can you do?
What did you make of the decisions? Because obviously the three controversial ones, and I try and detach myself from it. It's really hard, I know, and I can't
Yeah,
fully emotionally. But
yeah.
now, like
I mean,
now that we've won the game, so it sort of doesn't matter. What
yeah.
is your honest feeling on those three calls?
I thought after the Casemiro foul, I wasn't actually looking, so I saw the replay. and I thought it was at least a yellow. It could be red, it could be. It's kind of like orange,
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's 100% red,
Okay.
but I think at least it's a yellow or at least like a bigger penalty. But they just get the free kick. Like how? And then the penalty, I completely disagree with. I was like, what is Grealish supposed to do? Is he just like put hands
The thing
behind him
is for
and
me
jump?
is like with that as well. I don't think it even like everyone talks about but the rules say it is. I don't think the rules really do say it is because I don't think it's
No, I
unnatural.
don't think either.
Because I think
It's like natural position.
it's
Like you jump. Like
well, the fact is he's not even looking when the head is made. He's literally turned his
Yeah.
head as the head's made, so he hasn't even got. You know what bugs me, Keble? Like is the slow motion replay era because like when you see that in real time. There is no way in a million years that he's even seen that ball coming towards his hand. Like it happens like that, that quick. It's that quick, between those two claps. And like, there's no way he can respond for it. And what bugs me is you look at Wan-Bissaka winning the header. He's like that in the air because
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
how people jump. And like, I just don't think even by the rules that should be considered unnatural. Like,
Yeah,
am I wrong there? Like, I
it
don't
was
know.
I don't think it was a penalty at all. Like even if it just touches two fingertips at the best,
Yeah.
I don't think it changed the trajectory of the ball either. Like the header was powerful, so it made no difference. I just don't think that. Like, what are you if there's a bird flying and the ball hits the bird, you give the penalty to the other team? Like, it's just unreal. And then the Kevin De Bruyne penalty I think it was a penalty. He just put his leg out, then win the ball back, and stopped Kevin from shooting.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's a penalty too.
Yeah.
I think that's a foul if that's in the centre circle. I think it's the classic whole judge it where it was somewhere else on the pitch and it didn't matter though,
But
did it?
thank
Campbell?
God, yeah, it didn't matter. The club is special.
Do you reckon?
This is what like.
Go on.
Sorry, I was just saying that this is special, and this is how we build legacies. And I'm sure you'll take Ruben in a couple years on a Wednesday night in Champions League to the Etihad. And
I'll be taking him next year. I'll be getting some ear protectors on him, and I'll be taking him next year.
Yeah,
to
but
a quieter
in a
game.
couple of years he'll understand.
Oh yeah. He won't know what's going on in a year, a bit from
and
now.
he'll watch Haaland score a hat trick.
Well, I think he'll
hopefully-
understand the concept. I don't know what age babies understand football, but I think they know, they can see what's going on. They understand something's going on.
I feel like they understand the excitement. and
Yeah,
joy
I think
around
even
it.
at 1.5, 2 years old, they understand the excitement of it all. Like, but
Yeah.
he'll be just saying words at that one. I can't wait. I can't wait.
The final.
The
What are you
final.
feeling
Well,
about
the
that?
final he'll be. If he gets to a final, so he's 7 months now. He'll be. Well, yeah, he'll be 1 year and 7 months. So he'll understand. He'll understand that there's an event happening. He would. I don't think he'll take it
No,
to a final.
I was talking about the Inter final.
Oh, not. He won't. He has no idea of that. And what about what do you think about the final?
Are
Adam?
we winning that?
Are we winning it? Oh, sorry. I think we're winning it. we're winning it.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm confident, but I think it will be a tough game. It won't be. It will be kind of like today, and magical moments will make us win that game.
Magical moments. Perfect way to end it. Cavill, I'll catch you very soon, mate. You're a legend.
Thank you.
See you in a bit.
Have
Bye
a good one.
What a wonderful man. What a wonderful man. I'm going to go to Nazh next and have a chat with him. First of all, though, Scott with a super chat again saying Greelish handball. The thing is, he did adjust his arm one bit. But I don't know, mate. Scott, we'll chat to him, mate. But I don't think he did. If you watch it in full speed, he just went like that. You know what I mean? He just jumped. Well, we'll disagree to disagree because it's irrelevant now. But yeah. Charlie says, Steven, I would be interested in Champions League final screen. Any details, mate? No, Charlie, because that's an hour I came up with literally less than an hour ago. I've messaged my mate who works at Idle Hands in Manchester. He's a City fan, and I've asked if he'd be up for hosting it, and he's going to look into it tomorrow. I think the demand will actually exceed the capacity, which is crazy. I'd like to get some friends of mine there first, so I'd invite some people that I actually know. Like my dad and all that kind of stuff, and a couple of friends and stuff like that. Like Paul from Blue Horizon, maybe the Blue Horizon lads. I'd get them down first, and then some people I'd made videos with, But after that, I'd try and push it to some of you guys, and it'd be in Manchester. And what I'd do next weekend, what I'll do is I'll have a laptop in the corner. I'll do my watch-along stuff, but you guys will all be with me watching the game, and you can come up and join on a mic, and it'll be good fun. That's what I want to do next week. So, fingers crossed I can do it. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I want to do a watch-along live in Manchester. Fingers crossed I can do. That's my plan. I'm going to bring in Nazh now if you're ready, mate. I've added you to the stream, but give me 2 seconds, mate. 1 second. There we go, Nazh. We are good, pal. How you doing, mate? You good? You well? I cannot hear you, mate. Are you muted? I can't hear you. Hang on.
Can you hear me now?
I can indeed. There we go. That's better. Oh, good.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
you
I'm
doing,
doing
man? You good?
great.
You well?
The past couple of hours, it's just I have no words after watching that. Like, even if we don't do the treble now, which we will, but even if we don't do it, I'm just content with the season.
That's, you know what, no one said that yet, Naz, but I think you're absolutely bang on, mate. We haven't really chatted about that, but this is already an incredible season, isn't it? To win the league and beat United in the FA Cup final it's a fucking, like, if you offered people at the start of the season without context, that people would say 10 out of 10 taking it. I think they would do,
Yeah.
and I think obviously we don't. The Champions League makes it a different story, but overall, it's an incredible season, isn't it? It's an incredible season.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best in the club's history, if you just look at it in isolation. So, yeah, it's amazing. But we have the final coming up, and I'm sure we're going to do well. We're going to win it. So, yeah.
I like that confidence. Because let's be honest, though, I don't think it was our best performance today, was it? What did you put that down to? You know, personally, or am I underreacting? Was it just is it just the occasion, or how did you? I guess how did you feel
Yeah.
about the performance today in general?
Yeah, the performance is not even close to our best, but I don't think it's a big deal. I think,
Yeah,
it's a final. The other teams also quite up for it. I think we were decent. Especially our attack, like in defense and in the midfield, I think we were great. It was our attack which was a bit lacking. But yeah, I don't think there's much to worry about. I think it's just generally sometimes you have a bit of an off day, and this wasn't even, it wasn't like a really bad day. It was just an okay day. So yeah, it worked. It was okay. And I thought if Gundo didn't score, apart from Gundo, our man of the match was John Stones because
so
he
good.
was just so good. He was
I think
like, I thought he was better than Rodrigo also.
yeah, if I say, I think he actually might have had a better game as a number 6 than Rodri did. Like
Yeah.
the movement he had, man, just uh, gliding around the pitch, doing this and that. Like he's just absolutely world class right now, isn't he? Like he's just such
Yeah,
an immense good footballer.
there was one moment which I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was in our box and he turned. Some United player was pressing us and he turned and he passed it to Rodri, and that was when that was probably the best moment of the game individually by a player. Like, technically, he was probably our best technical player today.
Yeah, absolutely. I
That's really
agree. Like
great.
there was a couple of bits where I kept trying to remind myself that he's a centre back. You know, the quality is like,
Yeah,
how has this guy become such a like Guardiola's taken at one point what was a centre back with technical ability, but he's turned him into this genuine complete footballer. There was a bit where at one point where he played a 1-2 with someone and he was essentially in the right wing spot, and I was thinking, what's he doing there? Second furthest forward, and it's a remarkable development to the point where I actually think now he's probably England's best defensive midfielder. Like I actually mean that. Like I think
yeah,
he could play there for England and he'd be our best defensive midfielder because his all-round game and his intelligence is just it's just stupid, doesn't it? But Nazh, it doesn't take just John Stones to win an FA Cup final against United. Ilkay Gundogan too.
yeah.
Just talk to me about Ilkay
I
Gundogan.
we need him to stay. Pep, Cheeky, Ferran, Khaldoon, everyone needs to do whatever he wants. Give him as much money as he wants. Give him as many years as he wants. Give him whatever he wants. He has to stay. He's the definition of a club legend.
How much do you
He
think
is,
he's
he
added
has
to
the big moment.
his contract now, by the way? How much money do you think he's added to it over the last few weeks? Because I think he's added 60, 70 grand maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. Like, just give him whatever he wants at this point. He has the big moments. He's been our captain. He's had the longevity. He's been technically good throughout his career. He's played in different positions. He just has everything. He's the definition of what a club legend is. It's not even debatable. At
I
this
think you're
point.
right. I think you're right. And I think there's a real good chance here. And this is me projecting here, but I think there's a chance that if he lifts the Champions League trophy as the captain, which he does, there's going to be a point. There's going to be a photo of him and De Bruyne together. And do you know what? I think City will be tempted by statue. I think they'll be tempted. Those two holding it together like that. I just imagine, mate. Imagine, like
Yeah, and
I don't know. I think it's possible. Gundogan and De Bruyne next
if
to
you
each other.
captain the team to a treble winning season, I think you probably do deserve a statue, to be honest. Especially scoring two in the run-in couple of times and in the FA Cup final against Manchester United and who knows, maybe against Inter as well.
Oh God. Do you know what it is to score? Like Gundogan is going to be. There is no scenario where Gundogan isn't loved forever now. Like the 2 goals against Villa, and of course his general performances in that season where he played as a false 9, and then his other goals. But then 2 goals against Villa, and then 2 goals against United in a cup final. Like, United, like there is no scenario now that he isn't. Like, if there was any doubts about legend, because I think some people are arguing if he played regularly enough over the course of his career at City, but there's no doubts whatsoever now because it's fucking United. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's United,
Yeah.
so like he's right. He's just elevated right up there, hasn't he? Like he's shot up there to like elite level, hasn't he?
Easily. And the quality of those goals, especially the first one, it was just sensational. I think the XG, I think I saw it was 0.05 for him, and he scored 2 goals out of that. So it's
Oh God.
absolute brilliance.
Like the quality of those goals, just immense. How are you feeling about next week? Are you confident? What was your general mood before this game in terms of this game and the Champions League final? Where were you at in terms of confidence factors for each game personally?
So with me, usually what happens is before a big game, right until like 5 minutes before the game, I'm extremely confident. And then when I see the players lining up and coming out, and at kickoff, my head's totally gone. So for now, I'm extremely confident. I think we're gonna do it. But I'm pretty sure that's gonna change once I actually see the players on the pitch.
Do you think there'll be any
with the
changes?
Champions League
Do
and
you think it's going to be the same?
except Edison, I can't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
anything changing. The small doubt before the final was maybe Ake for a Kanji, but now you can't change that either. I don't think.
No, I agree. I
So
think Akanji defense was good today, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Like it felt to me like the defense.
yeah, it was great.
It was just a game where you have to dig in deep, wasn't it? A little bit.
Yeah, and a big compliment to Akanji is that we know how Pep likes to have left footers on the left side and right footers on the right side. And despite that, despite having Ake and Laporte available, he continues to play Akanji at left back. That just shows you how highly he rates him and how good his performances have been.
Yeah, he's been excellent. And £14 million, man. Like everyone can moan about
Yeah,
City spending money, but we spend money smarter. And ultimately, that's their problem, isn't it? You know, that's everyone else's problem.
we signed Haaland, Akanji, Alvarez for less than 90 million, which is just crazy. We have probably the 3 best signings of this window.
I don't think that's even an argument. Like Haaland,
Yeah.
Akanji just been incredible. Alvarez, like just an incredible squad player with an immense pedigree. Like I think you're right. Like I think for value for money, Akanji and Alvarez are the two best signings, I would say. Do you know what? I
Yeah.
think for value for money, Akanji is probably the best signing at all. Full stop. Like I think full
Yeah.
stop. Like that's mad that, but 14 million for Akanji. He's like been a massive part of like a Premier League winning, FA Cup winning, potential Champions League winning defense, and he's played regularly, hasn't he? It's not like he's been a backup. He's been regular.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's mad
he's
that
played pretty much every big game.
he has, and that's 14 million. Like it's mad. Nazh, I really hope, mate, I'm chatting to you after the Champions League final. I'm going to do a fan view live as well during the week ahead of the Champions League final. But for now, mate, it's been a pleasure. I'll catch you very soon. Enjoy your
Okay.
night. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Top bloke, Nazh, wonderful man, even better man coming up next. Not that sounds awful. Actually, I meant that. I didn't mean that as in even better because obviously I meant you know what I mean. But mainly basically because look what Scott's just done. He's gifting fucking memberships everywhere. He's gifting them to Mad Hatter. What a fucking top bloke. I love you, Nazh. You know, I'm drunk. I'm fucking drunk. I meant like this gets better and better. You know what I mean? As City fans. Love you, Nazh. I genuinely do. Top bloke. Nazh has been watching you for years. Right. So basically, don't forget, if you're a member, so I've seen people like Charlie, the Mad Hatter, and Marcus Ninja, and Ritik Shaw, and Liam, and Takers in the chat. If you want to chat to me, click that link in the pinned comment. You can have a chat to me as well, like Scott and Tenzin on Malemo have done as well. But I'm bringing Scott right now anyway. Scott, 1 second. There we go. Mr. Denemy, how you doing?
Not too bad, bud. How you doing?
I'm fucking good, mate. I'm fucking absolutely over the fucking moon.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh god, just tell me where your head's at after what you've just witnessed.
City,
the best team in the land and all the world, and all the world, and all the world.
That's where I'm at right now.
Absolutely.
That is where I'm at.
Oh man. I by the way, I saw your tweet. Like, I wish you could get over to that thing that I'm trying to plan, but obviously.
Dude, if teleportation was just a thing.
I know. Do you know what? If this goes well, though, Scott, if this goes well, and it's one of those things where if I actually manage to pull it off and do these live events, I will try and do it again for like big games. You know, in advance.
I'm gonna make it there.
And we'll do it because I'm hoping to do it in like a venue owned by a City fan. And I just thought if it could be class, because I know like it's one of those things where it's not quite Istanbul, but it's just class. Watching with 50 City fans just going crazy and just that'll be amazing. So on a big screen, fingers crossed. But one day, Scott, our paths will finally cross. By the way, so Scott once came to the UK as I went to America. It's fucking ridiculous. The chances of that.
I got to go to a derby as well. It was sick. It's unreal.
Absolutely mental. Absolutely mental chances. But he says you gifted 5 memberships as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I gifted 5 and then I tried to give 1.
I didn't realize Scott. I didn't realize Scott did that. He gifted it to Charlie, Liam, Takers, and Antonio. Mate, I didn't do that. Thank you so much, man. I didn't see that. I just saw the last one. And Mojiece has just done it as well. Mojiece, thank you so much. 2.0. Give it to Brian, Devesh, Bostron, Callum, McDowell. And Ross, memberships everywhere. Don't forget, once again, you can, if you've got a membership now, click the pin comment. But Scott, back to you. What does this mean to you personally?
Personally, I mean, I think I love it. Like I wanted to go off of what Ness said. Like, absolutely, this has been a successful season. I think that any City fan needs to take a step back and realize we've now made 2 Champions League finals in 3 years.
Mad.
I mean, that's just. I mean, we gotta realize where we're at now. Even if, like he said, even if we lose, which I personally, I'm always the person who believes the most, but we gotta be so proud of what these people have done.
Absolutely.
The work that they've put in. The club, the whole club. And I think this season's really shown just kind of, and I feel like they've shown it through the documentaries, which I think is really one of the cool things about City is how much kind of behind the scenes stuff you get to see for them.
Yeah.
But how hard like the medical staff works, especially around Holland now and keeping him fit and stuff. It really is. It's an entire community that they've built, and I don't know if you've seen any of the stories yet on like Instagram or anything, but like Greelish's story, I saw him celebrating in the locker room after with like the kit man who's always getting down
Brandon,
to his skippies and sliding
like,
around.
get off my Gucci bag or whatever it was.
Yeah, and it's just hilarious, and he's obviously not like actually pissed off at all. He's just like it's funny, and like that. It's like a family. It's insane, and it's really heartwarming to see, kind of thing. And that's why I think it's been developing throughout the years, and I think that's kind of where, and I really think Cancelo is a great player, but I think that's where Pep laid the line. He's like, I love this. This is my family, and I'm not gonna let somebody come in here and screw up the vibe, because what we have here is special, in my opinion.
I think you're absolutely bang on, and I think the fact of the matter is that I think we have to accept that. I don't want to sound sour. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm genuinely trying to be fair here. I think we know that Laporte and people like Cancelo are known to be a little bit moany, because they have done. They come out when they're not in the team, and they are sort of sulky players. And as brilliant as they have been, I'm going to give them all the love because they've been brilliant. I think they're known for being a little bit like that. But you see people like Diaz and Stones and Rodri, they are very much like, they lift people up around them, supposed to pushing people down around them. I think right now, as good as they were, we've got everyone in the team feels like they're out for each other. You know, everyone.
Yeah,
Every single player in the
that's what I
team.
was gonna say.
That there
Every
is
person
no,
would take like a bullet for somebody.
because you
know
don't
what I mean? Like,
mind
they
if
would
someone's
die for 'em.
like, if someone's brilliant, you don't mind occasionally the odd person who's a little bit moany sulky. But I would argue that as good as Cancelo and Laporte are, right now they're not Messi. You know, like if they were Messi, like I'd understand. I'd be like, all right, they're allowed to. But they're great, but they're not like. I don't think that the drop off of them. I'm not trying to slag that. And people watching think I'm trying to slag them off. I'm not. I'm just talking about their general persona. You know, as like as
They're
what they know.
brilliant footballers. I mean, they're better. You know, they're world. I mean,
World class. They are world
honestly,
class. Yeah.
I really do think they are world like
No,
top.
you're right.
Top 10, top 15, maybe top 20 in their position in the
Bang on,
entire
bang on.
world. Billions of people. You know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're not trying to rag on how skilled they are. It's
It's
like
just-
you said, it's a family. Like you want those people in there that will die for you, that will go to freaking war for you.
Do you know what's really
You
sad?
see Holland, anytime something happens, Holland's over there and is like, "Why are you talking to my buddy this way? This is my freaking friend. These are my people." And it's like,
Bang
you
on.
know, like that's what you want.
Do you know what, I
somebody
think it's
like
quite
that
sad.
out
I
of
think
the
like I
world.
think Laporte's sort of realised. I actually think he's realised that maybe he sort of sulked his way out of the team a little bit. And sort of Laporte is. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he is. I think he's just quite an intense person, and I know he's not. I know he's polite to all the staff and whatever. And so I'm not. But I think I think in general, the scenario of football is quite intense, and I think he's sort of realised that, you know, he's crying after the league. I think he's realised like, oh, this is great here, and I've sort of. I don't know, but I feel there's the sort of realisation that this might come to an end. He doesn't want it to. And I think Laporte was crying because he didn't want it to. And I think what we've got now, though, is we've got people like Kanji. Like, you go through that team, Scott. Like, you know, you go through Kanji, Walker, Diaz, Stones, Ake. If any of those had the captain's armband, would you be bothered? No. Like, they all feel like captains.
Maybe a Kanji just because it's 1 year, but I mean, he stepped up in such a big way. And,
But,
like,
I mean,
the
as
way
a
his
mentality, you'd
attitude is-
understand, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, his attitude totally, like 100%. But like, yeah, no, it's like you can't you don't worry about them, like the way they carry themselves and the way they go about their business is just 100%. I'm here to be
And then
on my game.
add Rodri, wouldn't be bothered. Gundogan wouldn't be bothered. De Bruyne wouldn't be bothered. Bernardo, I even wouldn't be bothered because he's fucking immense, you know, his work rate. And like I know then we get to people like Greelish, but Greelish captain Aston Villa. So I'm not saying he should be captain for us, but he's captain's eyes. Haaland absolutely is the kind of person who will lead by example. You know, one day Haaland will be a captain when he's about 28.
And I don't even know, honestly, I love Grealish and I like love him 100. I don't know if he'd even really want to be the captain. I
No.
think he loves his role.
But
Like,
I guess
I think he loves his role as like bringing people together. Like there needs to be that person. I don't necessarily think they need to be the captain every time.
But you
like,
trust them all, though, don't you? That's what I'm saying. Like, you trust them all to be.
It's like your friend almost, rather than like that's the person. You know, you have your kind of almost a role model, but they're still your friend isn't the captain. But like that's like your buddy that like, you know, you're having a hard day and he just makes you feel better. You need that person.
Like, I think there's a quote from Grealish. I'm trying to find it right now, but where he said something like, he said, I'm trying to find it. He said something like, "That's what we do, win trophies." You know, something like that. What was the exact quote? I'll scroll for it. He said, I can't remember. I might have misread that actually, but ultimately that is what we do in it. You know, like we just win trophies now. And Grealish, I actually think it's funny because like, I know people will talk about his impact, but I think he's justified everything now. But in general, you can't underestimate the value of just being fucking awesome, you know, as a person.
Yeah,
I like
pure. Like he's a pure person. You know what I mean? Like there's just those pure people out there where like you're like, wow, man, you are what you give. Like there's no like you're not. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but like
no, it does. It
it's
does.
just- you are. There's nothing behind that.
And
Yeah,
and
100%.
the older you get, the more you appreciate that, don't you? You recognize it more as well. You recognize the value of it more the older you get, and like and Grealish to me is a great example of someone who's grown with this City side, and I feel like we're gonna. I always said we'll look back after 5 years of his contract, and we won't regret his fee at all. And I already feel like we're seeing his development, and I wouldn't be surprised by the time he's 4 years into contract, he's playing a different position, and he's great, and he will, by the time he's pushing 30, you know, he would have grown more as an adult and all that kind of stuff. And it's a wonderful time in it, Scott, mate. It's a wonderful time.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling about next week now?
I feel good. Yeah, I mean, I always feel good. I mean,
I knew that you
yeah,
would.
I'm trying not to be too overconfident, but I believe in the guys. I think that we can get it done. I think Pep's got his formation. I don't think he's gonna change anything. We're fit. The last times we had injury problems. I feel good heading into this game. To be honest, I think the guys, they're focused. I think we've been there before now. We've done it once before. The nerves are a little bit down. Maybe for some players it might still be there, but I think the guys who have been there before are gonna say, "Hey, we've been there with you. We're here for you. Let's get this done."
Bang on, Scott. Thank you so much, mate. I'm going to jump out to Tenzin in a second, but I love you, pal. I'll catch you very soon.
Yeah, boss.
And
Talk to you
eventually
later.
we will meet. See you in a bit, mate. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
No worries, boss.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
A wonderful man, a wonderful person. Scott, thank you so much. Let me just go back to Mojiece's face. Thank you so much for the for gifting the memberships, Mojiece, and of course to Scott, as you just said, he gifted the 1 and then he gifted the 5 as well. I love you loads, both of you. Honestly, appreciate it. See, it's like I was saying, I think Jack has the pause and potentially David Gundogan type tempo midfielder. I actually agree. I think the longer he's here, the more he quickly gets it, and I think he'll realise that. Tenzin, anyway, Tenzin, I'm bringing you in right now, mate. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Tenzin, my friend. It's been a minute. How you doing, man? You good?
I'm doing fantastic.
Talk me through your state of mind.
My state of mind is, it was pretty expected how the game would go. United are a better team than Inter Milan.
Yeah, I agree.
So I thought that if we could lose one of them, it could be today. And winning today it's a lot more relief than happy, because we're kind of expected to win. And I think the game played out, and it was so stupid because I opened my computer up a little bit late by like about 2-3 minutes. The goal was already in. Which is
I was pitching myself, mate. I wasn't sure it even happened. It was that quick, but stupid, isn't it? Stupid.
And I just thought that maybe I got the timing right. I thought it must be like an hour into the game or something like that, but it was only a few minutes in, which is obviously extremely good, like much better than conceding very early. One of the things that I would really like to say is, I think now, maybe after the Champions League, if we win the Champions League, there is an actual debate that Rodri might actually be a better player than Roy Keane.
Roy
Because if
Keane.
you- yes, Roy Keane. Because I'm old enough. I'm super old.
What's your super old age? I'm curious.
We're about the same.
Well, you can fuck off when
Meaning-
you're super old, mate. Like, I don't feel super old.
I say that because we have watched Roy Keane.
Moderately old. I'll take
Yes.
moderately old. I'm 37,
Yes.
so you know.
We have watched Roy Keane play, and Roy Keane was obviously an extremely good player. But Rodri is a better passer of the ball. He scores more goals than Roy Keane. He's taller than Roy Keane. He's stronger than Roy Keane. And I know that there is like, the leadership and motivation and all that crap that goes in there. Yes, the Roy Keane had those things. But Roy Keane was also like 20% of the season, he would be out and not playing because he was on a red card. And he was a violent individual. And he always had grudges against people. He went into games, planning on kicking somebody. And if you actually look at, like, even if you, let's take a look at United's treble team. I think a lot of people who haven't not watched those times would not remember or not know that the semifinal. So route to the final, the United played Barcelona, and you know how they played against Barcelona? They played back six against Barcelona. They played
Yeah.
back six. United were not that good of a team. If this city plays the United team, we would absolutely dominate them. And they were completely dominated in the final game as well. They got two really good goals towards the end. We all give it that, and that's why they're considered one of the best, and
Yeah.
many consider them to be the greatest, because the greatest teams do that. But on a footballing level, they were nowhere near as good as even the Centurion.
I agree.
And I think that there is a bias, because what United fans don't realize today is that all of these United players, the greats, the putting them in the top of the ladder in terms of who the best teams are. That's happening right now because they won that treble. They actually got they actually got the recognition that they were the best. But that is being destroyed right now, and I don't think they have came to the realization.
I agree.
It's kind of like your lady tells you that okay, she's done, she's leaving, she's divorcing, and and you're at the pub, but you don't quite realize what has happened.
It's mad, isn't it? You're absolutely bang on, mate. Like we are. It's it. I think. I don't think there's a realization in general. I think you're right. I think we're witnessing greatness, aren't we? We really are. And I don't think people often realize, do they, Tenzin, that they're witnessing something special until it's happened. You know what I mean by that? Like, I think there's a tendency to underestimate things in the moment always. I mean, it's usually time that adds like hindsight and perspective, and I think that's understandable to an extent. But I think largely is also largely because City aren't particularly liked. But I do think what City are doing and these footballers are doing is special, and I think it is unique. And I think you're right with the comparisons. And like, how do you think the City? Do you think the City side will get its roses and its flowers in the end eventually? What do you reckon?
We are significantly better than Inter Milan. Significantly better than Inter Milan. And one of the things that always pisses me off, that's United fans and Real Madrid fans. Always pisses me off. Whenever they would point out a Chelsea fan or a City fan or even some Barcelona fans, they would say, "Oh, you guys are glory hunters. Like you guys are picking the best teams." Guess what? If people our age, in their mid-30s, right? If you were a glory hunter, if you are a United fan and you're a Real Madrid fan, because those two were the best teams when we were growing up. So all those fans, United and Real Madrid fans, you are the glory hunters, not us. and I think it will. I think it's already begun. Like we haven't even won the treble, and so many people are openly saying that this is the greatest team.
Yeah.
And I think and not just that, it's that it's next year. Like next year, we're going to be competing in every single tournament. Maybe we don't win everything, but we are going to compete. The next year. And I think as long as Pep stays, maybe like 1 out of 4 Premier Leagues will be won by someone else. And 75% of the time, City are going to win it. And now it has such a good, like a system, the youth system, the whole system has been created to a point.
Yeah.
That even after Pep leaves, there is going to be a sustained period of success.
I agree for a while. Yeah, I'm not sure how good it'll be, but it'll definitely be good for a long time. I don't think City are going to disappear. I think the players that we've got and the football, we need someone. It could be someone understated like De Zerbi. Someone come. So he comes in and just carries on the football that we're playing, and
could be Vincent Kompany.
Could be Vinny. That's the mad thing, is it? Like, I feel like Pep's creating his proteges, like more than ever. I think actually here's my opinion, Tenzin. Not sure if you agree. But I think Pep's a better manager now than he was 10, 15 years ago. I think he's a much better manager, and people don't talk about
1,000,000%.
People don't talk about managers improving, do they? They don't talk about managers improving, but managers do improve. Pep's way better than he was 15 years ago.
1,000,000%. Look, because I watched pretty much every single game of Pep's Barcelona team.
Yeah, same.
And I can tell you that he was an arrogant prick. He over time.
You lost you there, by the way. You broke up. Say it again.
He would be.
You're very Dalek-y. You're gone very robot-y.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
Okay, so
I heard
Pep was an arrogant prick.
Yeah, go from there.
And there were times where he and Zlatan would not get along, and Zlatan would score a goal, and he, instead of celebrating, he would be showing frustration that Zlatan scored the goal. Like, how that is not an example of a great coach. Pep, did extremely well in his first season. Obviously, he had Henry, Messi, and Eto'o up front. I mean, that was a great Barcelona team with Xavi, Iniesta, and Yaya behind. I mean, that was the best front six of all time, in my opinion. But obviously, he did well, but he was nowhere near, like, For example, he will not be able to like be in the same room with Holland, or maybe not Holland. Holland's a lot more humble. Like even De Bruyne with the latest like a spat or something where De Bruyne was shouting at Pep to shut up. Like he would drop De Bruyne. If that was 7 years ago,
Probably.
he would not play De Bruyne for the rest of the
I
season.
think he understands that, doesn't he? He's like, hey, it is what it is. Footballers will be footballers.
And so many players say that, and I agree under him, say that he was so scared of losing the locker room. He was always scared that somebody would say something and he would not, reply to that, and then more and more people would question him, and he didn't want that. So, but scariness shows that there was a weakness, and right, and just look at the difference in size.
Yeah.
When he came to City for the first time, he didn't quite appreciate that English teams needed size. I mean, just look at our size. We have like the biggest players out of all players. We're even Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich is usually a big team.
Yeah.
And Muller was saying after in an interview that the biggest reason why they lost was the size.
Yeah. Bang on. And like I personally like I just pitch myself that Pep's been here and he's improving this thing, and I think Man City have improved him. I think something about the humility of this club and the way the fans are of this club and the general. I actually think like it was the size, like obviously the size of Barca and Bayern, where they were sort of demanding success at all times. City, I don't think City are that club, and I think if anything, I think he's benefited from teaching us, what it means to be what he's used to. And I think it's been a very mutually beneficial thing where I think he's enjoyed how much City love him and what he can give to us and what he can get back. And I think Pep, you look at him now, you listen to the way that he talks, he's different. He's a different person. And I think that's very much come from living in England where the league has its own mentality, the fans have its own mentality. And I listen to him make jokes and he's just very mank now. Like he's sarcastic and dry and like...
Absolutely. And somebody is really confident when they can make fun of themselves.
He does it all the
makes
time.
Fun of himself.
He never used to. That isn't that the ultimate security, by the way. We can laugh at yourself because you don't care anymore, do you? At that point, once you can make something feel that you don't care, and that's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah. He's proven everybody. Everybody respects him. Everybody knows that he's a tactical genius, and all the players. It doesn't matter who the player is. When they come in, they have absolute full respect, and he knows that. So he's no longer scared. He's no longer pretending. He is, and there is no club on the planet that is better for Guardiola.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
Like, where can he go that is better? Where he has the support of everybody, of the fans, the players, the owners, and if he goes to Barcelona, there's lots of these elections, there's all these internal stupidity that goes on Barcelona that he got out of. He's not going back there. So maybe one day he's just all done with it and goes to a national team. Maybe that he wants to do that at some point. But other than that, I can literally see him staying for another 10 years.
I fucking hope so, man. Absolutely hope so. Tenzin, it's a perfect way to end this chat, if that's all right, mate. I'm going to jump over
Awesome,
to Malemo. You're a legend, mate. I'll catch you very, very soon. Thank you so much. In a bit. What a top bloke Tenzin is. I just realised we've been chatting for an hour and 7 minutes. Big love to Malemo, and Marcus has been waiting very, very, very patiently. Once again, I'd love to say thank you to Scott for the super chat, for the membership members. He's gifted memberships to... Oh, I accidentally... 1 second. What have I done there? I've nudged it. Where am I? I've lost the... hang on. Yeah, let me do some editing. There we go. He's gifted memberships to Anthony, Infinite, Sean, Liz, and Jason. What a top bloke Scott is always. Round of applause for Scott in the chat. What a wonderful time to be alive, eh? What a wonderful time to be alive. Just wonderful people everywhere. I'm going to get to El Malemo. I'm going to add you to the stream, but I'll be in about 5 seconds, mate. Okay? 1 second. 5, 4, 2... Hello, how you doing, friend? Long time no speak. It's been about a year or two, a couple of years maybe. How you doing? You good?
It's been a couple of years, a year and a half, yeah, man. How are you?
I'm wonderful. You still got that big charming smile that I remember, man. Are you well?
I'm okay. I'm actually just blessed cloud 9, everything is just, it's amazing. It's just what a time to be alive, I guess. Yeah.
What a wonderful time to be alive. Like what this is like did you see this coming, anytime soon? Like you like at the start of like, cast your mind back several months, mate, where things were looking a little bit,
That's
what have you made of where we've come from?
that's the thing. I was just gonna come here and just reflect on the whole season. Basically, I was thinking back to the Tottenham game, the home game, where like we were just I think we were 2-0 down. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were 2-0 down. Yeah, and then like it just didn't make sense. Mistakes were happening, like we weren't connecting at all. And I just remember how frustrated I was. And just there's a whole lot of drama that just comes with it. And it's so perfect. How did you even look at it? Hopefully like next week there's just the cherry on the cake and the cherry on the top. But then like if you just look back on everything, the comeback, the charges, everything just built up for interesting climax where like we're chasing down Arsenal. We didn't believe where Arsenal hit 50 points in the first half of the season. So thinking back at it, it's just been an insane season. You've seen
Hasn't it
the
just?
Guardiola villain arc where like every press conference is just gold. Like everything is meme worthy. Like what a time to be alive. Like you think about it, everybody has had a part to play in. You look at Rico.
Bang on.
Rico Lewis.
What a man.
Like, and I don't know, like this season just shows how incredible Pep is. Like hands down, you can't dispute. You can't dispute. We were all angry, or a lot of people were angry when Pep let go of Cancelo. Like, what was Pep thinking? What was Pep thinking? We have no left back. We even let him go. We only have one recognized senior fullback. At that point, you're like, yeah, no. And then Pep just comes through, center backs, a new approach, 3, and then John Stones comes. Oh my days! Oh my days!
How does he do it, man? Every
I'm
single
just
time.
lost for words.
I know you put it into words there really well. When you think about it's been a fucking epic season. Like when you think about what we've been through, and you talked about the press conference there in Guardiola. There's been soundbite after soundbite. Like some of the things he's brought out, this is the way I feel on my level is like this has been a victory for Guardiola this season. Like I feel like this is like not entirely down because that's unfair because the players work for it. But I feel like without Guardiola's special kind of like contribution, the way that he got the play, Pep. It's almost like Pep woke up one day in January. He's like, "What? Fuck this! This isn't working." And like he just decided that everything needs to change. Because it did feel like something just changed that day. And to me personally, Guardiola's done a lot of incredible things at Manchester City, but I feel like this season could be his greatest achievement, even in managerial seasons, because of where we were and because of how many managers would have been happy to accept a transition season, or just whatever, or thought we can't do this. What's your feeling on that? Did you feel similar, or am I exaggerating?
No, you're actually on the right point. Like I was there making peace with it. Okay, now it's fine. We're transitioning. We're finding new ways to play. The players are tired as well. I mean, it's a league double. Everything's just coming into play. Like we'll still find ourselves, and it's not like we are playing horribly where like we finish 5th or 4th or 8th. We're still playing good. It's just that we're not as good as we were the seasons before, and unfortunately we're going to be victims of our own success when we achieve so much and then you realize that now like it's time for people to just have a break. They're human. I was accepting it. I was a bit frustrated with certain teams, like with certain games, but then it's okay. We'll be back next season. I mean, like also Haaland is just ripping up the league left, right, and center, hat tricks. So I said we'll be okay. And then the whole Cancelo saga happens. Cancelo leaves, and then now you're just wondering what's happening. Like you're just wondering what's happening, and that's when you realize that when it's time to make the big decisions, that's when people make their names. When it's time to just like stand up, when everybody's against you and Pep just stands, like it's undeniable. Nobody can come in and say they can come through with their doubts and everything because Pep has just proved everyone wrong.
Bang
People
on.
are converting into Pepites now. People are there. Like now, You should go back. The only place you can go is Twitter. When people make their combined 11s or their dream 11s, now everybody has a back three system. Everyone has a back three system. And that's when you realize that everything, actually, all these allegations, all of these myths are being broken one by one. You'll never do a three-peat down the line. You will never they have Champions League over us, right? Possibly next week down the line. The treble down the line. Like, it's just being shut up. Like,
mate, I did a video
it's
with
just
fucking
insane.
Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. I did it on Sky.
Oh,
And he did it. I
God.
did it combined 11 back in January. Like, it was painful. I kept saying he was arguing. Ultimately, the decision was with the presenters, not us two. And they kept choosing the Arsenal players. I kept saying, "You're gonna regret this in a few months' time." Like, you know, like just trust me. And even though City aren't playing well now, just trust me. Robbie's a lovely bloke. He
I
is.
love Robbie.
But they were so
But
giddy.
this season, oh my days.
They were
Oh my
so
days.
giddy. They were so giddy, mate. Like they have to they have to respect greatness to an extent. You know, like even when City were at the best form, I was like, still just fucking respect these players. You know what I mean? Because what they've achieved.
Cecil had the whole shirt printed out of the table. Merry Christmas.
Did they? Did they actually do that? I didn't see that. God, I need to find that
Cecil,
picture.
he's like, yo, with the whole table.
I need to
Arsenal on
get
top.
the table printed off now and reply to him on Twitter. It's worth it just for that because I can get a T-shirt printed for £15. I know I can get it done. So I'm gonna get it done just for that one tweet. I need to send me that tweet, man. I need to find it.
I'll send you the video. I think it's on his Instagram. And then you get people, they don't believe like us. And then they realize. Now they know. Liverpool aren't just complaining just because they're complaining. This is a formidable team. This is a team that's crazy. Like, I'm already imagining the documentary.
Yeah.
The documentary, even if we don't win next week, like the documentary itself is going to be so ace.
Oh mate, it'll be quality, won't it? Like the behind the scenes footage of the dressing rooms and all that kind of stuff. I actually hope the documentary when they do it is sort of like warts and all, like where they show the bad bits. You know, like when the players. I hope they show Pep just laying into him. You know, the whole happy flowers stuff where he got annoyed after the Spurs game when they were kicking Rico Lewis to pieces, 17 years old, and he was like, none of you defended him. You know what I mean?
No one is defending
Like
him.
that's.
No one
I love the fact that despite everything that Pep Guardiola's won. He could have just ignored that, but he went, nah, fuck this. No, I'm sorry, but I've been around. He knew he's been around long enough to know that you defend your teammates. We're a team, you know. Like, and I love it. I love how I think it's fair to say, and do you know what's the rest of the Premier League and everyone else in Europe? You got Spurs to blame. I reckon if they hadn't kicked Rico Lewis that day, City probably wouldn't be the beast that they are right now, but they did, and that ignited some fire up in Pep's head, and like it's mad because I think football moments in life can change like that, can't they? And I think that day was that when they kicked Rico Lewis. So Rico Lewis,
and you just reminded me. Exactly. We'll come back to Rico, but like I just remembered when one of the press conferences they asked Pep if he wins the treble, what's next, or what does he have to achieve? He's like score a goal in Tottenham. This guy is just. He
doesn't care.
Like, also,
there's such a power in not caring, isn't it? It's just a power in not caring when you get older. Like that's honestly, like obviously, I'm a little bit older than yourself, mate. But in general, when you realize that ultimately there's a confidence that comes, there's a freedom that comes with confidence, and like when you Pep Guardiola's age and when you've done what he does, he doesn't give a fuck what everyone thinks about him anymore, and that's freedom. You know, like he will do his own thing and he'll laugh it off. And that is empowering for his players. It really is.
And I think that goes. Oh yeah.
No, carry on. Yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say that goes back to him like being talking about improvement once again. That once you come with all this experience, you learn your lessons, you do everything. Like he's just becoming a better coach every time, because if you're young and impulsive, and you just react to everything, it shows that there's still some room for improvement and everything. So him just being calm, relaxed, when he needs to adjust things, he adjusts them accordingly. Like, who thought about having 4 center backs that would just all across the back line, those type of things? That just comes to see how Pep has improved. And which now we go to away games in the Champions League, first leg, if you're away, we don't even go and blast teams off because it's burnt us in the past.
Yeah.
It's not that we were not good, it's just that we were conceding unnecessary goals, and then now we come through to our own fortress. The banners with that. No. Oh,
Oh, mate.
this season, one for the books.
Are we
One
going
for the
to
books,
do it
and
next
not only
weekend?
our books. Hopefully. I respect the Premier. I respect the Champions League. I have confidence, but then ever since I have PTSD from that Real Madrid comeback, so everything, I take everything as it comes. I come humbly. Hopefully it happens, and I believe in my team. But
we will see,
I
mate.
do.
We will see. Mate,
We will see.
I'm gonna jump over to chat to the other guys, but thank you so much, man. You're an absolute superstar, and it's been a
Cheers, man.
pleasure, genuine,
care.
heartfelt pleasure chatting to you again, mate. Catch you very, very soon. Hopefully, after we're
Next
crowned.
week, I will be here.
I will.
Be there.
What is it? Pep says we will be there. We will be there. You know what I mean? Like,
We will be.
catch you in a bit, man. See you later. Good night. I'm enjoying this chat too. It's like it's been great fun chatting to you guys. Loads of passionate blues saying wonderful things. I'll be Marcus. Are you there, mate? I'll be jumping over to you in a second if you are. Yeah, I can. 1 second. 3, 2, 1. Marcus, how you doing, my friend? Good to chat to you, mate. Whereabouts are you calling from, man?
Huh?
Whereabouts are you?
Same place. Derby.
Derby, man. Yeah. Have we chatted before?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
We have on the Real Madrid game.
No, fuck yeah, I
Real
remember
Madrid.
now. I remember. So sorry, man.
Real
My
Madrid.
head is
Yeah.
like a baby mesh,
fine.
so it's like I forget what I did yesterday most days. So don't worry about it. Don't take it personally. No, it's coming back to me now, mate. I know how you doing, man. You good? You well? It's been a couple of hours now, 3 hours after the game. How are you feeling?
I'm still hyped.
Same.
I'm still hyped. I'm still hyped.
It's mad, isn't it? It's a weird
yeah.
feeling. Done a double.
Like United thought they could cheat their way to another victory. I was like, not today. Not happening today. Not happening.
They fucking tried, didn't they, man?
They
Jesus,
did.
what was
They
going
did.
on in that first half? It was
Like,
wild.
they did nothing. United did nothing all game. They were awful. The rest was on their side, yet they still lost.
It's embarrassing, that, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like all that. Like the thing is, I think when you think about United, they had that goal mouth scramble.
Yeah.
They had and Garnaccio's shot from the edge of the area. That
Yeah,
was sort of
I
it, really,
think
wasn't it?
Ortega had it covered though. I think he had it covered.
No, you're right. I saw the replay, and Ortega
Yeah.
was covering that far post. And it's one of those things where I think that was the target. He saves it.
Yeah.
Then they had
And
like,
started off the line as well during that scramble.
yeah. So that was basically sort of it,
Yeah.
and like we did. I don't think we didn't play that well, but does it really matter, mate? Does it matter? Like
I don't think we need to play our best to beat United, really.
no.
Like,
Derbies are weird, aren't they? Like they're
Yeah.
horrible derbies.
yeah, because I feel that when it's the derby, everything is just against us. Everything is against us.
Literally everything.
Like the only ones in that are actually are for City are the players, the manager, and our fans. Everything else, the universe, the refs, the organizations, all United.
It's mad, isn't it? Like the stuff
Yeah.
like happens like it. I'm like the first half time I was fucking triggered as fuck, mate. I'll be honest. I
Yeah,
was fuming. It's one of those things where you watch it and you're like, how the fuck this is happening? Like it's just
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Mhm.
You've been watching my videos for a while, I presume, mate.
Yeah.
So like you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
all know I try and be really level-headed about it because I try.
And honest.
In general, I try and presume the best of people. Like I think people. I think there's a thing called Occam's razor, and what Occam's razor means is the thing that requires the least presumptions is usually the correct one. So the simplest explanation is usually the right one. So basically, and I think in this instance, referees is like they're probably just shit. Like, and I think it's probably just true. That the thing that requires the fewest presumptions is usually the right one. And I think in this instance, I think what happens is they are intimidated by United. They are intimidated by the occasion, and I think it's probably true. But I hope it's nothing more worse than that. But the point is, it's still not fucking acceptable. Whatever the reason is, be it bias, be it being shite, they're both just as bad as each other. Because when you watch that first half,
at that point, there's no excuse to be bad because you're at the top. You're at the top level. You should be good at your job.
I mean, if you're refereeing games that include United and City, two of the biggest teams in world football, you should be as good at your job as they are. You know, is that fair?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd assume it was. Because I'd assume if us regular 95 people were bad at our jobs, we get the sack. We get everything thrown at us. We get dropped instantly. And these... I think there's no accountability for referees.
Something in your background just beeped at the same time as you. Like, I don't know if you saw something beeping, but there's the time you went, and these it went beep as if you were just calling him something. It was perfect timing.
Probably my house alarm.
Yeah, but no, it beeps at the perfect timing, man. When you went, and these it went beep, like you were just fucking badmouthing him. But no, you're right, absolutely, and like I think we're lucky in the end that it didn't affect the game, but it could have. And it wouldn't have been the first time this season, and like that would have been hard to swallow, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'm just glad that Gundo just
Oh,
cancelled everything out.
talk to me about him, mate. Talk to me about him because he's fucking special, isn't he? How special is he?
I was remember that during the video that we were talking about Gundo and Yaya.
Yeah.
And that, to me, they both really done the same things. They've carried this team on their back during one season. They both came clutch. Like, they're both on that same level, to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And Gundo, he just gave him whatever he wants. He has the right to do whatever he wants. Whether he wants to stay, whether he wants to leave, he can do whatever he wants, and I won't be begrudged. I'm just great.
He's earned it, and he's earned it.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, like, Gundogan, there's certain players where it's the last contract, like, he's obviously not going to get as much as Haaland, but I don't know what he's on. I presume he's on about 200 grand a week or something like that. Something very nice. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go, here's 300 grand. I know, I need it for a couple of years. You know, you deserve it. You've earned it. Like, the price of what... We were chatting a lot earlier on this video, but to score 2 goals against United in a cup final, like, that would be enough to fucking have legend status. But then you think about the Villa game and then all the other things, man, but as well. But, like, what more could he do to endear himself to this club? And I feel like...
He's done everything.
Like I can't see any other way. Like he's been so immense and so important in crucial times that I can't just see. Like with people like Zabaleta and Hart went and they got like a little plaque at a training ground. Like they got like a plaque at a training ground. Like he's done too much for that, hasn't he? Like I feel like he's gone past that. Like to the point where like he's been so good that he's demanding like City do something with him, you know. And I tweeted before, I'm not sure if you saw it, but I said I'm dreaming of a scenario where we win the Champions League and there's a photo of him and KDB holding the trophy together, and also that's a statue. You know what I mean? Would that be?
You need a statue. Like there's only like 3 statues at the state now, you know, like Silva, Aguero, and company, right?
Yeah.
Like there needs to be more. I think this whole team could have done statues at this point.
And the thing is, it's like people. I remember some United fans going, "Oh, it's small time, getting all these statues for nothing." But we are witnessing literally one of the most iconic periods in English football. Yeah, it's that good, isn't it?
We are living history. We are living through history right now.
And especially, like, I think, like, because United fans are, they're just trying to force statues. But then, if you won 3 leagues in a row, then you end it with a treble. Like, that is literally like 99.99% of clubs in world football will never have a season anywhere near that level, will they? So that is like
at the beginning of the season, I was just happy with just a 3-peat.
Yes,
now we got on the treble at the end of this is amazing, man. This is amazing.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. Like, how are you feeling about next week? What's your mood at?
Next week, the Champions League's giving me too much PTSD, but I think we'll do it. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. Inter are a good side, but I think we'll be okay. I
hope and think you're right, man. Like I was less nervous about
United defensively, but I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, the thing is, I think what played a lot of this game was the mood of it, wasn't it? You know, the vibe of it. I think it was unavoidable that this was. Yeah. I think there was an element of the first game in 2.5 weeks. I think there was an element of that, but I think there was also an element of like. It's a derby. It's a fucking derby. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's just one of those things where we have to accept that it's weird. You know, weird and with the I can't see the Inter Milan being as weird and as frustrating as that game. I can see them be frustrating in their own way, but not as weird as this game. Yeah. Is that fair?
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like I think I've come with a deeper hatred of United after this game. A deeper hatred of them.
Welcome, come to the dark side, man.
Just how
did they do it? Like, I know they're called the Red Devils, but you start to think, have they actually got to fucking deal with the devil?
Yeah.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
feels like it. It just feels like it.
Do you know what? I'm going to say something here. I'm going to say something which might seem mental. I actually think they've got a good player in Garnacho. Like, and I think
Yeah,
he was,
yeah.
and I actually
is
think
very
United,
good, yeah.
annoyingly, I think they have improved. I actually think they have improved, and I think they gave
yeah.
us a bit of a fright at times. And even though they didn't create much chances, that's down to our brilliance.
Mm.
I've got to give them a tiny bit of credit, even with the refs, for
Yeah.
putting up a fight, and they did. You know, they
Mm.
did put up a fight, and the game
Yeah.
was a bit. It was a bit tetchy. You know, it wasn't a great performance.
There was at least 3 occasions where they could have scored, and I was like, oh gosh, my heart's in the mouth.
Yeah. And what do you reckon next season for them? Not that it really matters too much. Would you think they'll be there about
Next
similar?
season, I think they'll challenge. I think they'll do better. Yeah, they'll challenge.
Yeah, I think they'll end up being probably still drop off like that Arsenal did, not quite our level still, but I think they'll be better.
Yeah.
Probably still 10 points behind, but they'll be a little
Yeah.
there for a long time as opposed to not. You know,
Yeah.
we will see.
I don't see anyone knocking us off for a long time. As long as Pepsi, I don't see anyone knocking us off.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Mate, I am gonna leave it there because I'm knackered. It's
I
the
don't
honest
blame you.
answer.
I don't blame you.
I'm gonna go. I think. Do you know what? I feel bad because the wife's done all the baby to bed stuff, and
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go down and get some food as well because I've been doing this since 3 o'clock, and I realised, fuck me, I need to eat. I'll catch you soon.
Your kid has been born into the greatest.
Mate, fucking hell!
He's-
I got emotional during the match reaction because I was just thinking about like how. It's one of those things where like you had shifts when you have a kid and like perspective and stuff like that, and I just thought, fuck me, he's so lucky, and also I just can't wait to watch dance with him. You know what I mean? At a game,
I bet.
it's gonna be class, and he's gonna get upset at one point when we'll cry and be like, oh bless him. Oh, Mark's just joined the stream actually, Mark. So I'm gonna Mark, the infamous Mark from the chat. So I'm gonna get him
That's
on.
fine.
Right, I'll catch you in a bit, man, and get Mark
That's
on
it.
in a bit. Bye
See you next
bye.
week.
Top bloke, Marcus. Mark, are you there, man?
I am sorry.
There you go.
doing?
How you doing, man? We'll win the last. I fucking love that username. We'll win the
We'll
last.
win the fucking last, mate. We'll win the last. But you know what? I want to say something because no one's saying it. Fuck those rags.
Oh,
I
mate,
have to
absolutely fuck him. Absolutely fuck him. No, yeah, absolutely. I definitely pretty much said that on Twitter a few times, but I can't stand him. Fucking knobheads. Like, I do actually know some United fans, and one of my best mates is a United fan. You know, so my best man's a United fan. But you know, so there are always exceptions, but largely, fuck him. Absolutely fuck him, mate. Fuck him. How are you?
Absolutely, largely at large. There's some good people who are rags, right? We can admit that. But on days like today, fuck all of them, as far as I'm concerned. My wife's a fucking rag.
Oh, mate, Jesus. They
Which
get
is
about,
painful.
don't they? They're like rats. They're everywhere. You know what I mean? Sadly.
Oh God! But you know something, mate. At the end of the day, it's 2023, mate. We've just done a double, yeah. That's another double, by the way. It's another double, just to our collection of doubles.
It's not bad, is it? That's I said that tweet that earlier. Like, we feel mad that and you think you replied as well. Actually, I was saying like I'm just deep in that we've done a double. Like, we haven't even talked about it because we've done a treble. We want to do a treble, sorry, but we've done a fucking double. Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's unreal. It's unreal, mate. Like, let's not even go too far back. Do you remember when we had Alano Bloomer and shit? We never envisioned this. Never envisioned this. This is it's ridiculous. It's at beggars belief. And I'm sat here I'm looking forward to next week, but mate, I'm soaking in today. Because today to me probably is the most outside of when we won our first prem. This to me is the most special since then. Because we did it over them.
Yeah.
We did it over them in a final in their own hometown, by the way. In London. That's where they're all from. Nah, that's a joke. But you know,
you're right. I actually think this is probably the most satisfying thing since then, isn't it? You know, since the that league title back in then. Like, I think it is probably the most satisfying trophy because it is.
Like in 2011, we beat them in a semi, which was satisfying as fuck. But this. And Gundo being the lad to do it, mate. Oh my God!
How does he do it, man? Like, what is it about Gundo?
He's clutch. He's good. He's a big match player. He's one of these silent assassin guys who all season long he plays really well, goes under the radar because he's not scoring in every fucking match or getting an assist in every match, but he's involved in some way. This is a guy who pretty much is an 8 out of 10 all the time.
Yeah.
Just all the fucking time. He's just one of those dudes who gets on with it, plays phenomenal football. Nobody talks about him. But when the big moments come, the big players come along. And he is a big, big player. The dude is a huge player. He's been doing it for years, scoring important, vital goals in quarterfinals, semi-finals, whether it's World Cups or Euros for Germany. It doesn't matter. He's always there, bro.
Doesn't he?
He's always coming up. It's just him.
It's just something about the mentality, isn't it?
Do you know when he speaks, you never get the idea that he's ever too excited, or you never get the idea that he's nervous at all. He's just pure calmness. And in games like this, that's what you need. In big match moments, you need someone who's just completely and utterly unflappable. I know he's missed penalties. Every player misses penalties, unless they're Yaya.
Or Ballo, you know what I mean?
Yaya. But Yaya, like, people were drawing a comparison there. They're not remotely the same in terms of physicality and the way they play.
Yeah.
But in terms of that unflappableness, Yaya on the pitch was calm as can be. He was almost so calm, people were saying that he was aloof.
So laid back, he was horizontal, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. Can I give a shout out to a specific player today? My man of the match.
Mark, you can do everything, mate. Go for it.
My man of the match today, just for me.
I'm curious. Go on.
Was Kyle Walker.
Immense. That bit where he just went, not today, mate, to Sancho. Beautiful.
He did it 3 times. And by the way, the amount of times he nipped up from right back into the centre and midfield just to intercept the ball that was coming through, and then it went to Rodri. He did that 4 times in the match, man. It was just ridiculous. He is the best. He is the best right back in Premier League history.
There's no doubt in my mind. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. And I think his legacy will prove it. Like, I think Neville was a good player, but nowhere near this level. You know, he was good, but this is like Neville was never the best in his position in the world. What Walker is, like the best of his type, the best defensive fullback in the world, possibly one of the best ever. You know, in terms of defensive fullbacks, if not the best ever.
Well, to be fair to Neville,
I think he was a good player.
Era just his era did have Cafu and Zanetti at right back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a bit of a different ball game. Like those right backs, they're not necessarily better, but they have more of an awe than today. It's kind of like the left back argument. Like you had Ashley Cole back then, obviously Maldini, who I rate as the greatest defender of all time in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Is Maldini. We also had Roberto Carlos. So like that time, Gary Neville, like come on, he's never going to get there with those boys. But he was for quite a while the best right back in the Premier League. I'll give it to him. I currently have him second, but I want to put him third because I want to give Zabaleta more flowers.
Ivanovic is Chelsea as well. There, I reckon. Ivanovic was quality of Chelsea. But then I think
Gary's winning record. His winning record takes him over them.
Yeah.
But at this stage, Kyle's won enough to go over him. He hasn't got more trophies, but he's won enough to go over him because he is actually better.
I think even Neville would probably admit that, to be honest. I think he probably would. Like, it's just obviously I know Kyle Walker isn't an attacking fullback, but he's so unique, Kyle Walker. Like, there is no one I would like. Literally, if someone asked me in the history of like right backs to choose someone to mark a tricky winger, I'd be like Kyle Walker. I would just have no doubt. I know that sounds. I can't think of anyone. Like I know even people like Zanetti and whatever.
You're not going to put Gary Neville. You're not going to put Gary Neville on fucking Vinicius and Mbappe and Neymar and expect them to just pocket him. But with Kyle Walker, we normally feel very, very comfortable him man-to-man marking anybody on planet Earth. We really do.
Yeah,
he had a great game.
He did indeed, and like I think he's I'm hoping he's gonna like Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker could be a Champions League winner soon, and that to me is just it's special, you know. Like, and there's certain players like that's a good point, a relatively decent point to touch on, like because there's certain people like Kyle Walker and John Stones, you know, people that have been here for an awful long time now. like who aren't always fashionable players. Kyle Walker's not a fashionable player, and what I mean by that is not the people that people are gonna rave about on Twitter or the internet, or whatever. You know, like Kyle Walker's not gonna get a segment dedicated to a match a day because De Bruyne exists, Gundogan exists, you know, whatever, which is unfair, but it's true. You know, like, but the people like that, they deserve, you know, they deserve these trophies because it ain't possible without them. It just isn't possible, you know. Like, and so like I just hope we do it sort of for them, you know. I obviously hope we do it for Man City, but I feel like we've been watching people like Kyle Walker for so long now. I sort of want to see them get those trophies for them, not just for me as a City fan. Does that make sense? Like, 'cause I know like they deserve it.
They deserve it.
Yeah.
They deserve it. Like, as much, look, I'm flying over. I mentioned it a while ago. I'm going to the game.
Oh, amazing, mate.
Istanbul. And I'm chuffed, but it's cost me an arm and a leg to go.
Yeah.
It really has, but whatever. It's hopefully we win it. But like when I look at the dressing room and I look at the players, and I can't imagine how tough it can be at times living life under Guardiola as your manager, because like we've all worked jobs where we've had managers, and they're kind of finicky assholes, and we've not liked them. I'm sure you've worked a job where you've had a manager you didn't like. I think we all
massively.
have. And I'm sure that they have a lot of respect for Guardiola. But you can imagine there are some times where Kevin De Bruyne wants to hit him like a knuckleball in the face with his bare foot. You can tell it would happen. He would be the type of person who would enrage you at the wrong moment. And you see it sometimes because he's so passionate himself and he's very outspoken, as he bloody well should be, in his own dressing room. And he's a great manager, but you can tell he would piss you off.
Oh, massively.
And to live that life for
perfectionists
that
are annoying, you know what I mean? Every now and then.
Oh, bro, look, if I was a top quality footballer, mate, I would have got kicked out of Man City after 2 weeks. If elbowed him in the fucking head, I wouldn't have been able for it. But that shows the mentality of those boys and the willingness to learn. And that's what it takes to get to where we are now, which is on the cusp of immortality. I mean, we're the only team to do 100 points in the Prem. We're the only team to ever do the domestic treble. We're about to take the only thing that
domestic quadruple, not even treble. You know what I mean? Domestic quadruple, the formidables.
Fair enough. I was looking at the numbers earlier today. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but you know, Guardiola's managed 700 plus games, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many losses he had, mate?
I don't know, what, 100 or something?
It's 94, mate.
94?
It's 94 in competitive fixtures.
That's
yeah,
mental,
If you want to include pre-season friendlies and everything, it's 104. If you don't want to include any of that, you just want to go competitive football, Guardiola hasn't even lost 100 matches.
That's mad. He's been doing this since, what, 2008? Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, so he's the guy. So let's just all confirm it. He's the greatest of all time.
I actually
agree.
I agree, mate. I agree. I think he's
that's off the chart.
And he's ours.
I don't care if he's never managed. Yeah, he's ours. He's ours for as long as he wants to be ours, right? For as long as he wants to be with us, we'll love him forever. And even when because we know he'll leave. I don't want to talk about that.
No, we don't. We don't, mate. He's gonna stay forever until he's Do you know what? I think there's a scenario where he stays a lot longer than we realise. A lot longer. I don't know how long, but I don't think it's unreasonable.
I hope for my betting slip he stays with us until 2028. So custom bet.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Mate. Mark, a pleasure, mate. I'm going to go and get some food because I am beyond hungry. I've not eaten anything since 2 o'clock. So I need some food, pal. And I'm exhausted and tired and hungover. I'm hungover. I've sobered up since I got drunk during the stream. So I am in a weird position, mate. I've gone from not eating to... I just need some food. I love you lads, man. I'll catch you in a bit.
Okay.
In a bit. You're all absolute legends. I'm going to end this stream there. City have won the FA Cup. We've done a double. Beating Man United. Winning the Premier League. What a fucking time to be alive. Honestly, I will say this again, and I'll say it for the last time. Not for the last time, for the billionth time, and won't be the last time. Savour this. We might never, ever be in a position as good as this again. This is quite literally the best time to be a Manchester City fan. Fucking enjoy it, because this is as good as it gets. Love you all loads. In a bit. City have won the FA Cup.